Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, we are talking about how Adam Aron's beating the shorts, how the shorts will be paying us, the AMC profits, and many more in this video. First, we take a look at this. Shorts are getting wrecked, but they're still hiding in the shadows. Over 60% of AMC's trading volume is getting funneled into dark pools, 63% on August 13th alone. Straight up price suppression. Check this chart exposing the dark pool volume, showing how they're dodging true price discovery. CEO Adam's strategy is torching their game plan, proving shorts can't keep up when apes hold strong. So this is obviously just another representation and showing of the dark pool usage for AMC. It's something we try to show almost every single video to highlight just truly how manipulated the price of AMC is. But it's more importantly about understanding the fact that just because they're using dark pool to keep the price down doesn't mean the shorts are not hurting. When we take a look at all the other data that's been presented to us in terms of how shorts are lacking liquidity, how they're having less and less money to be borrowed, how they are trying to beg for help, how they're trying to actually flip their positions into long and buying into AMC, so many things are pointing to the fact that shorts are actually struggling and losing. And so the only thing they can do is obviously abusing dark pool, because that's something that they can do at ease without a lot of cost. And that's something that can obviously keep the price down. But once again, it doesn't take away from the fact that they've spent billions and billions and billions of dollars on creating synthetics, and all of those positions are losing them billions and billions and billions of dollars, in which is also costing them millions of dollars almost every single day to continuously financing these positions. And it's how they're also using the money to obviously rehypothecate shares every single day. And that's something that we know, but because AMC is holding strong, we know that we are bleeding into these shorts and that they are of course losing. You can take this, regardless if AMC goes up or down, it's obvious to anyone watching that the price is under extreme control. Such control doesn't come for free. If you think of it, there's only one possible explanation. Someone's willing to pay a fortune to make you sell your AMC shares. And so this is obviously very simple to understand, because what we've just talked about in terms of how it costs shorts billions of dollars to create these synthetics, how it costs shorts millions and millions of dollars every single day to finance these short positions, they are paying a fortune just so they can keep the price down, with the incentive of hoping that you sell your AMC shares. And I think a very good way to then look at this is that if they're willing to spend billions of dollars to make you sell your shares, just think about how much it would be when AMC squeezes, because they would rather spend billions of dollars to keep the price down. And so, this I think is the biggest reasons to why we always know that the short sellers are still trapped. You see all these articles that are saying that the short sellers have covered, that they are not trapped. And to me, the biggest confirmations, and this would be the only time I would ever believe it, for that short sellers are no longer trapped, is the fact that there is no more manipulation on AMC. The very fact that they're willing to go through this extensive, amount of capital to keep AMC down is a biggest green light to the fact that they are still trapped in AMC. And so that's what we have to understand. And to think that they're willing to spend billions of dollars to keep AMC down, you would only imagine how much they will have to pay to buy the AMC shares off of us. And I think one big thing that we have to remember, and is why we said that Adam Aron is beating the short, and is why we always look at the fundamentals, is this particular post, and this is from back in 2023, but Adam Aron confirmed it, and is the biggest reasons for what I think he's working towards. You can see, he said here, "You nailed it, I could not have put it better myself," in response to this particular post. Shorts attack companies they feel they can destroy. If you become a successful company, you destroy a short thesis, hence no logical reason to continue shorting. This is CEO Adam's strategy, and the only strategy that's ever worked in the history of the market. And that's what we are seeing right now with how, not only obviously what Adam Aron's doing, but how AMC is operating. And it's essentially a fact of improving AMC to the point where no one in their right mind would short a company like AMC, unless of course it's extremely overpriced, which we know it's not. AMC has paid themselves to be a company that has shown extreme potential, that has shown extreme projections, whilst still being extremely undervalued. You can look at it as one of the biggest opportunities, and it's why we're seeing, these massive institutions who are all buying into AMC right now. One of the biggest things recently you have to realize, and especially why I said that the projections for AMC is extremely bullish, is why we're seeing all these institutions buying, is why I said that these shorts are all panicking, is because you can see here, movies are back, rate cuts incoming, fundamentals is strong, the debt is reduced, positive cash flow. Adam Aron said we will make 10 to 11 billion between 1st of April until the end of March 2026. We made more money with fewer slate movies, and how AMC obviously owns gold and silver because of the investment with HRMC. And this is where we are at. AMC's investments are doing well. AMC's business are doing well. The projected business is going to do well. Another thing that's improving and making AMC go better is, firstly, the debt that is reduced. Now, there's going to be more on this because not only have we already reduced the debt recently, because we have the rates incoming, we're very likely to reduce even more debt, because we have to realize is that if we are seeing the debts to go, if we're seeing the interest rates to go down, in addition to the rapidly expanding box office, AMC would see around $18 million a year or 4.5 million per quarter of added profits. So on top of what we have already done, if we see an interest rate cut, we're going to be seeing that debt get reduced even more in terms of interest payment. And if we're seeing the reduction in interest payment, it obviously gives us free up cash. With that, we can either choose to pay off debt, or we can obviously make more investments. But all in all, you can see how that's obviously putting AMC at an even better position. And so with all of this, what you're really looking at is just how AMC is going to grow to become the one of the best companies that there is, and it's how it's going to be the most valuable company within the industry. It should already be the most valuable, but because of all these suppression that we're seeing, because of the fact we are seeing these dark pool and we're not seeing real price discovery, we're still yet to obviously reach that stage. But with everything happening, you can see how it's going to do so. And then you can see here, institutions have purchased up 990,000 shares of AMC stock in the last 2 months, and the price is still $3. Talk about a disconnect. Now, this here is pretty much, I think, the only proof you need to see in terms of understanding the suppression, in terms of understanding how we have not seen price discovery, true price discovery for AMC. Because if you take a look at what's been happening for AMC, institutions have only been buying AMC stock. They have not been shorting shares. And if anything, the only short positions you would see are the put positions on AMC, which doesn't actually have any effect on the market price of AMC. So we're seeing institutions are net buying. They're constantly buying. Now, for retails, and this is obviously very obvious, is that there is pretty much zero selling. I would argue that the ratio of selling to buying is probably 1 to 60, 1 to 90. When we take a look at the OBV, we know that people have always been constantly buying and that they are not selling. And we barely seen selling from the retail side. And so with this, you know that because people are constantly buying AMC, we normally should see the price going up. Yet we're still hovering at the same area. And that itself should be the only proof you need to understand that what sort of price manipulation is happening for AMC. And then in order for me to obviously then further showcase this, you can see low volume Monday morning start off still has over 63% of AMC shares being routed off exchange to dark pools. So, this is just on a Monday, and then the SIBO coming in at 12.32, and then the lit exchange NYSE coming in at 9.51. So the shares that really had effect on the lit exchange today were 9.51% of the shares. And this was, of course, for the first 2 hours of the market. But you can see how pretty much all trades are being taken away from us. All trades are, not showing the true price. And we've always seen this. We always will. The regulations aren't obviously doing anything about it. But we have to remember, just because they're manipulating and suppressing the price, just because AMC isn't reflecting its true value, doesn't mean there aren't billions of synthetics that are out there. It doesn't mean that these short sellers aren't trapped anymore. Everything still stands. When it comes to it, they will have to pay us thousands and thousands of dollars for just a single share of AMC. But yeah, guys, as always, this is financial advice to do so. So make sure to do your own due diligence and research, and I'll catch you guys next time.